Welcome to Papa Junk's shop. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I couldn't find a good place for the camera, so I'm going to try this. Some of you know that I just bought this with plans on using it on the water wheel, and there wasn't any water, so I hooked it on my solar panels, and it worked fine for about 3 days, and the 4th day it wouldn't show an amp reading on the coming from the panel or going into the battery on this or on the MT50 display. And I got a hold of the people I bought it from, and we went back and forth with some pictures and discussions, and we come to an agreement where I would take they'd give me a pretty good refund if I wanted to keep it, and I was just going to put some external meters on it. So in the meantime, a couple days after we got that all settled and I got my refund, it quit working altogether. So, you know, they were decent enough to fix me up with a pretty good price on a partially defective unit. I mean, it was still working, it just wouldn't display the amperage. Well, now it doesn't work at all. It doesn't light up, doesn't do anything. And I'm thinking where the input goes in that we got a short situation, because if I put my meter on ohms, now let's see, I have to have a little probe for this, and I go on where the solar panel hooks in, well, no, it's not showing. This is strange. Okay, guess I'm fibbing to you. Well, anyways, it doesn't light up at all. So I'm going to open her up and see what goes on. So I'm going to take the temperature sensor out. We'll have a look, see what's in here. I never dreamed that I'd be operating on this already. I figured it'd be a few years before anything went wrong. Okay, we got a little display board here. I wonder if that comes out of there. Wow, that's a stiff wire. Oh yeah, that's plugged in, I think. Okay, good, we got that out of the way. So, got a couple of fuses in here, and that fuse is blown. Well, that would explain why it's not lighting up at all. Explain that. So those fuses are on this plus terminal of the battery. Well, I know I wasn't putting... my solar panels won't make 30 amps, so I know I wasn't overdoing the input. So, what do we got here? Looks like these must be clamping down some MOSFETs. Yep, I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. And looks like right here, 1, 2, 3. And this clamp must be clamping something too. I don't see the terminals on the top side, but I'm not sure if I gotta get this board up. Looks like there's a screw holding that in place, but it looks like they got it closed in there. Okay, well, let me do a little exploring and I'll be back. Well, I dug the stuff out of there and got the screw out that's holding that inductor in there, and it didn't do me any good. They got her epoxied or something right on the heat sink. So the wires are really stiff, so we're just going to work with it on those wires. And I'm not sure what I'm doing. But in the checking process, I don't know if I can set my meter here so you guys can see. I got it on ohms, and I'm assuming that these MOSFETs are the trouble. So, on that one, I got a high reading. On this one, what have I got? I got 51K, 2.5 meg. Yeah, so they're reading about the same. I come over here to this Q7, and I got like 10 ohms. If I go here, I got 0.3 ohms. And if I switch my leads around, still got 0.3, and I still got 10 ohms. Now this one says it's a D26, so it must be like a diode. If I go across the two outside ones, I got a 0.3. The 0.3, no matter where I go, I get 0.3. Q5, I've got 1.3 ohms. 1.3 ohms. 0.3. 1.4. So, what do you say? I'm not sure. Well, that's got high reading. Okay, that seems like it's not shorted. So that one's showing 0.2 ohms. 0.2. And 52.9 K. 53K. So that one is called what? Oh, that's a diode, it says. D38. So this is a diode and this is a diode. Two transistors, three transistors, MOSFETs, whatever. So these don't have very good readings, I don't think. Of course, it depends on what's in the circuit. Wish I had a diagram. They don't look like they're going to be fun to get out of there either without messing something up. I guess that's what I get for settling. Yeah, let me do some thinking and messing around and I'll get back with you. Well, I decided that before I do much more, I was going to get this fuse situation resolved. So I got the old fuses out and they're parallel, I guess. Seems to be anyways, what I can tell. So I decided that I'd like to have them so I can replace them. So what I did is I took one of these terminals. They'll fit on one of these fuses. And I cut this off and flattened that out and cut it down so it'll fit down in the circuit board, and I got it soldered in. And this one will take a number 10 wire, so it's a good heavy one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little 5 amp fuse in there. I haven't got the other side done yet. I'm just going to go with one now for testing. So I got a 5 amp fuse in there. And someplace around here I got a wire. There it is. And I'm going to hook I got a little, one of these little batteries. So I'm going to hook it up and see what happens, whether we blow a fuse or whether she'll light up or what. Okay, just to confirm everything is right, that's the plus and that's the minus. Okay, so I'm going to touch this on the battery and hopefully we'll see this screen light up. We did not. What we seen was a fuse blow. Okay, well, so guess I'm back to the drawing board as far as figuring out what MOSFETs are bad. I guess, I don't know, clip them. Well, sure isn't any good this way. And then ones act like they're shorted to me. So maybe I'll clip them out of there and then we'll hook this back up and see if it still blows the fuse. Okay, so I clipped the two that showed the short. The diodes that showed shorted I left in there. If they really are, I don't know. And I put a new fuse in. I got the wires hooked up. We're going to touch her on the on the battery and see what happens. Keep an eye on the fuse. Oh, the fuse didn't blow. Hey, the screen's lit. Alright. Okay. It's switching through its things. Battery's 12.7. Okay, so maybe I'll be able to save the bugger. I guess my next move is to look up these part numbers and see if I can get some parts. Of course, I got to do that other fuse holder yet. So maybe I'm going to get lucky. If any of you guys watching this are knowledgeable of what I'm doing here, if it's right or wrong or got any ideas, it's probably going to be a bit before I get the new parts, so let me know your opinion. And I went in and looked the numbers up, and of course the only place I can find any is in China. And they're not very expensive. I think you get 5 of them for like $7, but you gotta wait who knows how long. So I had some MOSFETs left from an inverter that I fixed a while back, and I looked the specs up on those, and it was almost identical, except it was only good for 75 volts, and this thing is rated at 100. And I had 2 of them, so I just tacked them in, and I think it's gonna work. But I'm not going to leave them in there, but that just proves to me that everything else is alright, that was the only 2 things that was wrong. And the diodes that I thought were shorted, when I did a little better look, I discovered that 2 of the leads are tied together to start with, so that's where I was seeing the short. So the diodes were okay. So I was getting a little leery about plugging in this this board in and out, so I thought, I wonder if the MT50 will work, and just leave that out of there, because I can just plug that in, and it seems to. So what I did to test it is I got it hooked up, and I'll power it up. Just hooked the battery up. You can see this is coming on, at least I hope you can see it. And you'll see here that we're drawing a minus 0.036. Now that's running this. Okay, now it went down to 0.03 because the backlight went off on that. So over here I've got another 12 volt battery, and I've got a little rechargeable lithium battery that I'm going to add to the 12 volts, so that'll bring it up to more than this one. So we should see the current go up on that. So okay, I'm going to hook her up. Okay, there we go. And we lost the minus, and we're up to around 1 amp. I'm not going to leave it on there long because there's no heat sinks or anything. So it looks like it's going to work. I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, just hooked it up. There she goes. She's up to 1.2. Of course, it takes it a while to settle. Like I say, I'm not going to leave it. So, I hope you can see that ammeter. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can zoom in on that. Come on, camera. There, can you see that? That's a 3. It's still on. Let's see, where did I lay my battery? Okay, there we go. I'm going to do her one more time here. Not sure if you could see it or not. Hope so. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, try to get that so you can see it a little better, because I couldn't even see it very well. Okay, I'm going to make the connection. Okay, there we go. You can see it went into the plus side. It's at 17 volts here. And that's still with that 5 amp fuse in it. So I think at this point I'm going to leave everything alone. I'm going to order those correct ones for it, now that I know the rest of it works. And I'll show you when I get her all done. So if you enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.